Numbers don't lie, but the suits sure do. They printing that paper while you chasing what's due. Ledger got no borders, can't fake what's true. Digital escape hatch, I'm breaking through. Blindfolds tight, but my vision stay clear. System rig heavy, still I persevere. Centralized puppets, man, they pulling them strings. I'm out here stacking sets while they sell you false kings. Decentralized dreams, we breaking the seams. Freedom ain't free, but I'm chasing the means. Blockchain the truth, no shadow regimes. Decentralized dreams, yeah, decentralized dreams. Fiat's a leash and they got us on choke. Inflation's a virus, whole system's a joke. Gold got heavy so they turned it to smoke. Now I hold private keys, ain't no chains on my throat. Bank runs coming, man, the writing's on walls. Bailouts for the rich, crumbs for us all. But code don't lie, it's trustless and raw. They fear what they can't own, so they outlaw. 21 million, the people's decree. Math over muscle, that's financial decree. No middleman tax and my wallet stay free. Numbers don't lie, but the suits sure do. They printing that paper while you chasing what's due. Ledger got no borders, can't fake what's true. Digital escape hatch, I'm breaking through. Blindfolds tight, but my vision stay clear. System rigged heavy, still I persevere. Centralized puppets, man, they pulling them strings. I'm out here stacking sats while they sell you false kings. Decentralized dreams, we breaking the seams. Freedom ain't free, but I'm chasing the means. No shadow regimes. Decentralized dreams, yeah, decentralized dreams. Fiat's a leash and they got us on choke. Inflation's a virus, whole system's a joke. Gold got heavy so they turned it to smoke. Now I hold private keys, ain't no chains on my throat. Bank runs coming, man, the writing's on walls. Bailouts for the rich, crumbs for us all. But code don't lie, it's trustless and raw. They fear what they can't own, so they outlaw. 21 million, the people's decree. Math over muscle, that's financial decree. No middleman taxing, my wallet stay free. 21 million. 21 million. 21 million. Numbers don't lie, but the suits sure do. They printing that paper while you chasing what's due. Ledger got no borders, can't fake what's true. Digital escape hatch, I'm breaking through.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge of financial freedom. Thank you for having some patience. I had a friend who was in an accident, so I took some time off from both my job and this to kind of make sure that he got from a hospital and back home and comfortable. So thanks for having some patience and showing back up when I start to show back up. So we got a few people in the chat. We will get to you in just a second. You know what day it is. It is FOMC day. So we got a few things to cover. So let's dive on in, get you prepped for some success today, because there might be a little bit of volatility to be prepared for. We've got that stock heat map pulled up in the background like always. We are seeing a little bit of red this morning. We do have Apple sitting up 0.61% from its close, looking down 0.17 this morning. Nvidia getting hit a little bit hard yesterday, was down 1.61%, sitting around that down 0.8% right now. We got Berkshire Hathaway down 0.11 and continuing to see a little bit of some downside action this morning, down 0.09. We've got Amazon looking to the upside, one of those few green stocks right now, up 1.13 and continuing to the upside 0.16 this morning. We got Eli Lilly, was looking nice and green yesterday, up 2.21%, seeing some sell off, down 0.4. We've got ExxonMobil up 2.07 off of its close and looking for some downside price action this morning, down 0.33. Tesla sitting to the upside as well off of its close, up 2.82% and seeing that sell off this morning, down 0.65. We've got P&G up 0.78 from its close and looking a little bit red this morning, down 0.15. We've got Microsoft, also one of those stocks in the green, down 1.23 off of its close, up 0.4% this morning. Google down 0.14 off of its close and up 0.6 this morning. And Meta, to wrap that on up, sitting down 0.22 this morning. Let's hop over to the crypto side of things. We are seeing a little bit going on this morning. Let me get over to the right tab. We are seeing a little bit of green, a little bit of red. Scrolling on down, we've got Bitcoin up 0.9%, Ethereum down 0.1%, XRP also sitting down 0.3%. We've got BNB up 2.8%, Solana sitting with no change on that daily, seeing a little bit of red on the hourly, Dogecoin up 0.5%. We've got Tron sitting down 1%, Cardano down up 0.4%, Chainlink sitting down 1.9%. We've got Hyperliquid up 3%, SWI taking a spot in the market cap from Avalanche, sitting up 0.3%, while Avalanche is sitting down 2.4%, Stellar Lumens down 1.8%. We've got Bitcoin Cash up 8% right now. H-bar sitting down 1.3%. We'll be taking a look at that H-bar chart because you know what we were looking for? We're getting some bouncing action off of that golden pocket. We've got Leo token remaining quite stable. And Litecoin to wrap out that top 20, sitting down 0.1%. For those fear and greed meters, we are sitting a little bit greedy on the stock side. No change from yesterday, but not too unexpected after a pretty green day to maintain a little bit of greediness there. We are sitting neutral for the crypto side of things, up a point and sitting at 53. We've got a lot of liquidity on both sides of us on this daily chart. Very, very easy to grab both of those, especially on an FOMC day. I am favoring a little bit of some downside to grab the bottom side liquidity, seeing a little pump on the FOMC, and then maybe seeing a little bit of some volatility to the downside. Zooming this out to that 3-day chart, you can see quite a bit of liquidity directly above us. That's that area that I would like to see us take after that FOMC. You know, it is highly likely that we get that 25 basis point break cut and to see us grab that top side liquidity and then really find some bottoming would not be too unexpected. Everyone's a little bit bullish. I do think we see some upside action off of that, and then we'll kind of have to see if that continues or if we start losing some key levels and really find a solid bottoming to really build strength back up from. Let's take a look at that 1 week. We do have a little bit of liquidity that we need to pay attention to here as well. Still that top side broad range, but if you look down here, we've got quite a bit of liquidity at 113,000. You have to zoom it out a little bit further. That 2 week really gives you that idea of our bottom side liquidity, but I do think that bottom side liquidity gets grabbed a little here in a little. Let's take this over to that Bitcoin chart. Say good morning to the people as we take a look after we take a look at that economic calendar. We do have building permits this morning. That'll be at 8:30. Scrolling on down, we also have housing starts at 8:30 as well. We do have some other information that's going to be dropping today, and that's going to be that FOMC. We'll be seeing that rate cut. I that's what I believe. Not a big fan, but I do think that it could help the job market here in the next 3 to 6 months. So if your big worry is on jobs, which is what the Fed has said it is, then you might be seeing that 25 basis point rate cut. You can pretty much put 100% on it. That's what the CME betting market is on. We do have those Fed press conference coming out directly after that. That's going to be at 2:30 Eastern time. So make sure that you're playing it a little bit safe today. You know, heavy data drops can be extremely volatile. Let's say good morning to the people in the chat. We had a little bit going on before the show. Jessie sliding on in here first, saying good morning, and that I was no longer slacking. But as you just heard, that's why I took some time off, and I'm glad to be back. We got Alexandra G in here. You don't normally see her here. It does it bright and early, but I am glad that you were able to make it today. We got Duality C in the chat as well. Good morning to you. Let's see who else we got in here. Scrolling on down. There was a lot of talking before the show. Let's see. Wick's wife Fine 89 in here. Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. We got J-Tum in here saying tunes are so on point every time. Well, I appreciate that. That was a new song that I shared this morning, was making some new music. I've still got a whole nother song I need to really finish up. It is a pump song that was requested in the chats of another YouTube show. So hopefully that gets finished here soon. We got Dylan VA in the chat. Good afternoon to you. I know you're on the other side of the world there, so you're already into your day. And we've got Aiko in here. Good morning. And Jay Violet sliding in here towards that, just making the cut. Curtis Hill and Buck's in here nice and early. Good morning. And we've got Steve Hickey in here as well. So let's dive on into this Bitcoin chart. We are seeing a little bit of some resistance as we've broken outside the top of that CME gap that we were looking to close. We talked about that for a little while. We saw that come in as resistance, and then resistance is again. And when we held the bottom side of that range coming in at 111,800, we really got that strong move towards the upside. That's kind of what we were looking for. Now we're starting to see a little bit of some resistance. We do have a little liquidity above us, and I am looking for 118,200 to really be a little bit of some top side here, and then we at least come back down, clear out some of that bottom side liquidity, sitting at this $113,000 range near the bottom side of our CME gap. You do see us sitting with some bearish divergences here on the daily. You are seeing a little bit of some red money flow. Volume just starting to pick back up. So that's what we're going to keep our eye on as that volume continues to pick up. Does it end up being some selling pressure, or does it end up being some continuation on that buying pressure? Keep your eyes on that shorter time liquidity, and we will see where the market decides it wants to send us for today. Scrolling on in on that time frame, we got that 4-hour looking a little bit toppy here. You're getting some curvature here on our prime oscillator. Money flow staying nice and green, and volume starting to pick back up. But you will have to watch to see if that's going to be some selling volume or some continuation of buying pressure. I do think we do see a little bit of some downside action this morning, but that FOMC will be that catalyst everyone's waiting for. The dump we might see off of it would be those people that already priced that in or pricing a 50 basis point rate cut. So getting that move towards the upside. They've already been in, and they were waiting for that FOMC for those late people to kind of jump on in, and then you sell on their heads. So that's why I do think we do see a little bit of some downside action after the FOMC, but a continuation towards the upside first. Let's zoom this on in, take a look at that 1 hour. 1 hour also looking a little bit toppy here, as we do see that curvature of our MACD breaking below our indicator line, starting to print those red candles on the histogram, and we've got that bearish divergence with some rollover here on that prime oscillator. Money flow is curving just a little bit, barely maintaining above that zero line here, so we could see that breaking into some red money flow here. Volume holding nice and steady, so any increase of volume could come with a little more downside if that money flow is some red price action, would be some red inflows. We do have that 15-minute also breaking below that zero line on our MACD. We've got that curvature and a money flow breaking into the red here on that prime oscillator. Volume holding steady though, so looking like this volume that we're starting to see come back in on Bitcoin is not some buying pressure, but is some selling pressure. I am looking for that upside target, 118,200, a little bit later today. So we'll kind of have to see if we can find that bottoming action here on the top side of this range in action that was above the midline of the CME gap. Looking for 116,200 to be that strong support. That's where we get all the touches over here, as we've gotten those small pushes off of the midline of that CME gap. Let me get that horizontal rate drawn on out for you. You can see all the touches on that there. Coming in rejection, 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 really seeing some rejection there as well. And then we got a little bit of a test on top of it. Would like to see that hold again. So that's what I got for the morning. A little bit of downside, maybe some stronger downside, and then if we don't hold that 116.2, and then seeing a little bit of some pump action on the FOMC. Looks like 67% of you are agreeing we might see a little bit of some upside. All right, if you do have any requests you would like me to take a look at this morning, go ahead, throw those in the chat. I don't have any heavy news articles to really go over. Wasn't really paying attention to the news. I've had a lot going on. So we will get back to some news articles tomorrow. But for now, we're just going to do a TA day. We will see if y'all want to take a trade as well, or if y'all want to stay on the sidelines here. So let me get that poll written up in the chat here, see if we want to take an FOMC day trade and what direction that trade might want to be. So FOMC trade, yes or no? That poll is coming in just a second. All right, starting that poll. Let me know. We've got David Gefeld in here asking for DGB. Let me get that on the list. I did have a few assets I wanted to share first, and then we'll get into y'all's requests this morning. Let's see who else we got in here. Trade Intuition, waking up bright and early. Good morning, sir. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Wick's wife saying we need that pump song. I'm trying. Had a little bit going on, and we will get back to that. I've got things close to where I want them, but a little fine tuning definitely needed on that song. Let's see, anyone else in here that I missed? Not looking like I did. Any clean spark holder happy from yesterday's pump? Been super depressing for so long. Well, J-Tum, maybe we need to take a look at some clean spark today. Let me get that one on the list as well. And we will dive into a few assets that I was taking a look at. We've got Jesse dropping those magnets in the chat. If you know, drop those magnets in the chat. We got Paul Hindenburg saying, good morning, BC. Good morning to you, Paul Hindenburg. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Let's dive into a few things that I was looking at, and then we'll get to your requests. Make sure to drop anything you would like me to take a look at in the chat, and we'll get to it in just a second. We did have gold making those moves back towards the upside, really close to our upside target they were looking for before we see a little bit of some decent pullback, and that's that 1618 at $3,742. That is that area we are definitely looking for a little bit of some resistance on gold. You can see our oscillators are nice and cooled off here on that 1 day. On that 1 hour, this 1 day is looking a little bit toppy though. That doesn't mean that you can't continue towards the upside, as that money flows looking nice and green here on this daily and continues to climb towards the upside here. Volume holding nice and steady at that higher volume, and we'll just have to wait to see if that volume holds steady and we continue to see those green inflows. This 1 hour was looking nice and cooled off though, so that's why I do think you can see that continuation up towards that 1618 that we were looking for. We are finding the top side of this consolidation as some support. Would be very easy to continue on towards the upside here. MACD looking nice and cooled off as well. We did break below that 0 line, but we are starting to see that curvature stepping on in on that MACD line. So if we can get that continuation of some money flow coming on in on gold, you can definitely see that continue towards that 1618 target of $3,742. I did have a few other things I wanted to take a look at this morning. We did see Circle breaking above an old trend line that I was looking at. We are sitting directly on top of our golden pocket right now, and we're waiting to see if we can get that continuation here off of that golden pocket. It was coming in as some resistance. To see it retested and then try to close the CME gap would be that CME gap is closed. Let me get that colored on in real quick. And to make our way back up to the top side of that CME gap will be something I would keep my eye on. We do have that 1 hour here. Oop, clicked on the wrong button. There we go. We got that 1 hour here looking a little bit toppy, but with that FOMC coming our way, could give us a little bit of a push towards the upside, and then we'll have to see if we can maintain some of these key levels here. That midline is that area I'm kind of watching for. Came in as some resistance. That's at $140.30. Looking quite nice on some Circle here. I was buying as we got close to that platinum pocket. Do have the potential for a little more downside, but we will have to see how drastic that does come, as that FOMC might give us that pump and a little bit of some dump. 15-minute is trying to cool off a little. We have been seeing that cool off as we maintain this golden pocket here. So that's that area I'm looking for some support. Waiting for some curvature here on that MACD and prime oscillator to give us that continuation back up towards the midline, where we started seeing a little bit of some resistance there. Let me hop on over to one of those other assets I was taking a look at. We got Core Weaves making some nice moves back towards the upside here. Let's get this zoomed on back to a daily look here, because that daily is looking a little bit toppy as we approach that 382 on our fib retracements. Got that move a little bit below the golden pocket, swept some liquidity, and moved up with some quickness here. We did see a lot of unlocking of those initial investors on CoreWeave. That is what continued some of that strong sell-off. And then you saw people really liking that price around the golden pocket and buying it up with some strength here. This daily does look a little bit toppy on that prime oscillator, but that MACD breaking above our 0 line here, still looking a little bit towards the upside, and that money flow still sitting in the red, but is definitely starting to see some curvature back towards our 0 line. So we'll kind of have to watch that one closely, see if we can get that short-term time frame money flow bleeding over into the higher term time frame. We were looking for 76.21. That is still a potential, as we are seeing those lower highs and lower lows being made. That was just a nice little bounce in action off of that golden pocket, and we'll have to see if we can find that strong bottom around 76.21, or if we can turn that golden pocket into some strong support here and make a higher low for a change. We did have one more thing we were taking a look at. Let me find that here. Where was it? Nuclear and energy. So way down here at the bottom, we were taking a look at UCLA this morning. Been following that one quite closely. It'll get tapped by the Department of Energy to help make some new nuclear reactors here in the United States. And as you can see, we are breaking above some resistance here. I am looking for that 1618 to be a little bit of a resistance level, as this daily is starting to look a little bit toppy. Could definitely start to see a little bit of some pullback. There was very, very strong buying pressure directly below us, so we'll kind of have to see if we lose some of these levels. Let's move this line now, redraw out that level. That's coming in at the bottom side wick there at $90. So that's that area I would like to see hold. If we drop below it, retesting those old all-time highs would definitely be something to keep our eye on. Let's get that other horizontal ray drawn out there. So we got both of them. Those are those two bottom side levels I'm kind of watching for OKLO. This is a great nuclear stock, has performed quite well, and hoping to see it continue above that 1618. We'll have to draw out some new targets once we get above that, so we know what levels to kind of keep our eye on. Let's see what we got here on that 1 hour, because like everything else, it is looking a little bit toppy, but we are seeing that money flow coming in with some strength here. You did see that nice rejection off the 1618 there. Let me get that zoomed on in a little bit. That rejection off of the 1618 coming back down, trying to break above that high there, and we might see that resistance coming in at that 1618, really push us back down a little bit, find a strong bottoming, and then try to make our way back above it. We have plenty of room towards the upside, as this is actually providing a service and is getting a lot of money from the government to make a new form of energy in the United States that touches on some old technology that hasn't been around. You know, there's been massive advances in the nuclear space, and that's why we've been seeing some nice strong moves towards the upside as that government gets a little more favorable for energy dependence, and nuclear is the way that they're really looking to get that energy dependence. We were taking a look at the H-bar chart last week. We talked about seeing that break above our trend line, coming back down, really holding some of the lows here. That was that 22.97 area. We are seeing a little bit of some toppiness here on the daily, but we're waiting to see if we can get that continuation of money flow going towards the upside. I see Jesse saying Toshi. Might have to take a look at that one. You and your degen plays, I have no doubt they're doing quite well, as we've been seeing a little more risk on recently. Let's see, Donato Cabrera in here. Good morning, good morning. We've got Melissa in the chat as well, saying good vibes always. Yep, most definitely. We try to keep that giver's gain mentality, giving all the good vibes, giving all the good information, and you know, having a little bit of fun while we do it. So that's what this morning show is all about. Let's see if we can find that next target here on H-bar, because we do have some room towards the upside if we get that FOMC rate cut, seeing a little bit of some quick risk on, some moves towards the upside, and then see what bottoming levels we can find. I am looking for that 22.22 to be an area of support. Once we get above this hourly looking nice and cooled off. So that's why I would look for a little bit of some upside action if we can continue to hold this golden pocket here. we are getting some nice cool off as we maintain that. So to continue to see us maintain that golden pocket would give us that ability to pump towards the upside off of that FOMC and then look for that upside target that we saw. We did get a lot of resistance around 26 cents, so that'd be that next real area to kind of target towards the upside there. Let's get that drawn out over here. As where we saw all this resistance coming on in. Make it a little bit thicker so we know that is a higher time frame resistance area. So golden pocket looking like a nice strong support area. Prime oscillator and MACD nice and cooled off here, and this 15-minute and the morning looking like it's finding some bottoming as well, and that golden pocket's going to be our area. Would need to get above 24.22 first. That is looking like a little bit of some resistance now. After we got all these touches on it on the bottom side, we saw us reject quite heavily back down to that almost 23 cent price point before we really got that move back above the golden pocket. We did talk about breaking out above the trend line, seeing a little bit of some pullback, finding our strong strength, and then being able to continue towards the upside. So that's that area that we're sitting at right now, that strong area of support that would give us that ability to pump back up towards the upside there. So that was that H-bar chart. We've been following this one quite closely. H-bar doing quite nicely, holding that golden pocket and waiting for some continued upside there. We did have a few requests to take a look at. That was DGB first. We had Clean Spark, Toshi coming from Jesse. We got any other assets y'all would like me to take a look at, go ahead, throw them in the chat, and we'll get to those if we have some time. All right, let's take a look at some DGB. See what's going on there. Digibyte. All right, I don't think I've ever actually done some TA on this. Apparently I have. Well, surprise, surprise. Let's get this zoomed on out. It's been apparently a while since I've done some TA on DGB. And we're seeing some breaking below that platinum pocket there. This is what's led me to have a lot of worries in the alt space. You know, we make those lows really find the top side of our bear market ranges and are unable to really get above key levels of some resistance. You do have that daily looking a little bit towards the downside there. Let's get it zoomed on in so you can see those a little bit better. We do have a massive fair value gap above us on that golden pocket, so that's an area above us to also watch for some resistance. But first, we've got to get above the platinum pocket. We do have a few levels directly above us as well, and we'll kind of have to see if we can get this curvature of money flow that we're starting to see here on that prime oscillator. Let me get that oh, wrong button there. Let me get that zoomed on in. Oh, undo, Control Z. There we go. Let's get that right button there. Here we go. You are starting to see that curvature of some money flow, and we're waiting to get back up towards that zero line. Seeing that volume really increase here. So looking a little bit nice as we find some constriction around that platinum pocket. Would need to get above it. That's 00865. Find that as some strong support, and then see if we can get above 0096. Prime oscillator and MACD both looking a little bit nice if you can get that green money flow here. You've got that MACD breaking below our indicator line here, but it's doing so with some extremely sideways action there. Prime oscillator also getting a little bit of some curvature here, so let's zoom that on in, see how that hourly's looking here, and see if we can get some upside action. You do have that money flow starting to slow up just a little bit on that selling pressure as we find some nice solid bottoms here around 008, pretty much on the dot. That's where we get a lot of our pushes back towards the upside here, and we are starting to make some higher lows. So would really need to break that trend, get that higher high coming on in, and seeing that money flow coming on in with some strength here. Money flow has been a little bit muted, not too unexpected. As you're seeing the consolidation, you are waiting to see that price action getting pushed back towards the upside, as you see that platinum pocket being that real area of testing. So see if we can get above that platinum pocket, and then we could make our way to 9 cents. That's that next real upside target. Oh, 009. My bad there. There are a few zeros coming on in before that. 15-minute and the morning looking nice and cooled off here as well. Let's get this really zoomed on in here. As you can see, that nice sideways consolidating price action directly below our platinum pocket. We are starting to build up some bullish divergences. This money flow sitting barely in the red here, so you could see that move back towards the upside with some strength, with just a little bit of some volume increase, as that volume is a little bit low, and that money flow switching back towards the green. If not looking for some downside action, there's a few levels below us. Let's get that zoomed on out to really find those levels for you that you would want to keep your eye on. We do have 077 coming in as an area to try to find some support there. There we go. As you can see, we got those nice bouncing action with some strength off of it as we broke below that platinum pocket. The area directly below that to find some support, if we are unable to get above that platinum pocket, is going to be this nice sideways consolidating price action below here. Let me get that drawn on out. That's coming in at 0072. So a few areas directly below us, if we're unable to get back above that platinum pocket, to kind of watch for some stronger support would be a little bit of a better entry as well. But if we can get above that platinum pocket, I wouldn't say the sky's the limit. I would say that golden pocket is the limit. There's a lot of resistance areas coming in at that golden pocket that you would want to keep your eye on. That fair value, that old fair value gap is also up there as well. So a lot of resistance directly above us on DGB. We got JR sliding in the chat as we're getting a little bit closer to the end. But as always, I'm glad you're here, King of the Degens. We've got K Diggity in here as well. I would like to find some solid bottoms. Well, go to the gym, my friend. I guarantee you will find some solid bottoms there. Let's see what else we were wanting to take a look at. We had Clean Spark requested. Well, not requested, talked about in the chat. So let's take a look at that Clean Spark chart. I don't often TA these crypto stocks, but you know, they have been quite battered down. To see some nice upside action on them would give a lot of people some hopium, and might start causing a little bit of some selling pressure. So a nice strong 8% move towards the upside yesterday. We do still have some resistance directly above us. It has been a while since I've done some TA on some Clean Spark, so let's zoom this on out all the way here. I won't say all the way. This is the weekly here, but not a lot of people take a look at the weekly, and that weekly gives you a whole lot of information. You do see that MACD line breaking above our indicator line here, starting to print some green candles on that histogram, and that prime oscillator also getting some curvature back towards the upside, and a lightening from heavy red to some light red. We are waiting on that money flow here. It has barely been in the red, and we are getting back up to some key levels, so I would like to see that broken first, and then that continuation of some money flow. We have started to make some higher lows, and we're waiting to see if we can make another higher high here. that golden pocket on a shorter term time frame would be that area I would watch for turned into some support, and then you could really move towards the upside with some quickness. Let's get that trend line deleted there. Let's get that one deleted as well. We'll find some new trend lines to really take a look at here. We do have this daily time frame looking a little nice for some continuation as well on that MACD as you're just starting to break above our zero line. Prime oscillator is showing a reversal signal, but I've said it plenty of times. I like to see multiple reversal signals flash to kind of show that reversal of trend, especially when you're seeing some nice green money flow on that daily. Zooming on in, I would assume you're seeing some really nice money flow on those shorter term time frames as well. You do have that 4-hour just breaking into the green there, so that's something to keep your eye on. Seeing that bleed over from the shorter term time frame into the higher term time frame would be the move to kind of watch as we're getting up towards some resistance here. Let's get this zoomed on in, take a look at that 1 hour. 1 hour is looking a little bit toppy here, but look at this money flow, looking nice and green and getting some curvature back towards the upside. So this first real strong reversal signal that we're seeing coming in a little bit short of that golden pocket. We did see some resistance at this level before. We'll kind of have to see if we can maintain that price at that price point. That's going to be this $11.17. As you can see, we do have a little bit of a buying wick directly on top of that, looking to see if we can get that continuation as that money flow continues to come on in on clean spark. We do have that resistance directly above us at 11.57 to kind of keep our eye and contend with. Above that is going to be this fair value gap from way back here. Was a nice sideways consolidation range from before. Did see that come in as some resistance before we got that drop below our golden pocket. So that's that next strong level to kind of keep our eye on at $13.57. That is going to be a strong area of resistance that we're going to need to do some battle with, but that golden pocket is going to come first. Let's see what that 15-minute and the morning might be bringing our way. We do have a few bearish divergences. Price action looking like markets looking like it's going to open pretty much exactly where we closed yesterday for this. So that money flow here looking nice and green and getting some continuation curvature towards the upside here. But that MACD starting to look a little bit toppy, so you could see that continuation up towards that golden pocket. Or you could see that open towards the bottom, get some nice downside price action towards this old CME gap from way back. But I won't even zoom all the way back to kind of show you. But this is that old CME gap. We get that nice push off of it, and continuation would definitely look for a little bit of a retest directly on top of that, coming in at $10.82 if we get that move back towards the downside. If not, and we get that continuation towards the upside, seeing 11.57 come in first, and then making a little bit of a retest back at $11.10. That's where we saw some resistance from that move above the CME gap there. So that's what I got for some clean spark on the shorter term time frame and the higher term time frames there. All right, we had Jesse talking about some Toshi. Jeesh, Toshi really pumps. Well, let's see what we got coming in on some Toshi. Let's see. Did I take a look at it on? Apparently took a look at it on the Coinbase chart. What time is Candle Mover talking? The Candle Whisperer. Who are we talking about there? The Candle Whisperer. You'll have to let me know, and then we'll find out. Let's see. Watch Jay Violet driving on Billy Goat Tails next. Well, I have that redirect all set up, Jay Violet. So as soon as we finish with some Toshi price action, Powell, he will be talking at 2 p.m. Eastern time. anytime 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So FOMC is always at 2 p.m. and the FOMC speech afterwards is always at 2:30 Eastern time. So hopefully that helps you out there, JR. Let's get Toshi zoomed on out here, getting that nice selling wick off of the 236 here on our fib continuation. Might need to get that redrawn out as we broke below some of those lows there. We had that move from here, and let's get that bottom side redrawn out there, because we didn't bottom there. We bottomed way down here. So 236 was a little bit of a resistance area. We got that move above the 382, and then we're waiting to see if we can find that strong support pretty much at the level that we're almost at now. That's going to be 9292. So that's an area to kind of watch for some support coming on in. We've pulled back down towards it. That daily is looking a little bit toppy as we are seeing some bearish divergence. That money flow barely in the green here. So would need to see that money flow really continuing up and getting above the 382 at 0010 for me to have a whole lot of confidence, especially in a project like this. I'd rather miss out on some price action. Let's see what this move is. Finding this new higher low to about now at that 382. You're talking about 177%. But to get a move from current price action all the way up to where I'd want to target on this after finding some support, that would be way up here at the golden pocket. Going to be a nice big move back towards the upside. 80%, but I'd have a lot more confidence in that trade. Bottoms. Yeah, we're always talking about bottoms. I don't try to catch some bottoms, but I do like to see some bottoms. So that's that one. Let's see what we got here on the hourly. After seeing that nice strong move towards the upside, after some nice sideways price action, we got that move up towards the 382, and then a nice strong pullback to one of those levels we had drawn out from way back here. Let's zoom it on a little bit further and a little bit further. Yeah, there we go. That was coming in as some resistance from back here. You can kind of see that push back down, the push back down, the push back down, and the push back down. We found that as some nice strong support on our current levels, and then we're trying to get that continuation up towards the upside there. We're doing a little bit of some battle with that 000929 price point right now. This hourly looking a little bit toppy, but that doesn't mean you can't see that continuation towards the upside. So let's take a look at this 15-minute, see what the morning's bringing our way. Some nice selling pressure here, but we're continuing to make some higher lows. Would really like to see us make a higher high. If this price action does continue towards the downside, that could be a little bit of a reversal of trend. This is a lower high, and that MACD sitting below our indicator line and prime oscillator moving a little bit sideways does look a little bit risky, but as you see this come in as some support, would be a nice little strong area to kind of keep our eye on. We are trying to break below it right now. You do have a few levels below that as well to kind of keep your eye on. That's going to be that 0.00745 if we lose both of these levels. That is our nice strong area of support, and that is the 236 there. So keep your eye on those bottom side levels for Toshi, because it did get that nice strong move towards the upside. To see a little bit of some sell off is not too concerning. Let's get over to our single person screen, and we will wind that show on down. It is 5:30 and time to head over to that morning motivational video. Glad to see you all here. We will be back here bright and early tomorrow morning for some new trade. We will see if we can find a little bit of a move to make tomorrow. We got 61% saying yes for the FOMC. Let me poll y'all in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, make sure that you join on up. If you are in the Discord, I will make a little bit of a poll, see if we want to take a pump or a dump trade off of the FOMC. And then I won't be live because I'll be at work, but we will have some fun. So until next time, I will see you in the chats. We got that morning market report at 10 a.m. and trading with OC at 8 p.m. Make sure to tune on in, hit that like button and subscribe. It always helps out the channel. Until next time, make sure to wake up because today's going to be a good day.